It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. We are waking up with temperatures in the 50s this morning. We've had some rain on the radar overnight, primarily in our northern counties, and that's where it stays as of 5 a.m. It is not going to be a washout of a day, though, in the Ozarks. The few rain showers that are left this morning are going to be moving on, and I have a partly sunny and windy day setting up across the Ozarks. It's also going to be quite warm in the forecast today with highs near 80 degrees. We'll dive right into this forecast because there's a whole lot to talk about, not just rain on the radar for us this morning, but I've got daily rain chances in this forecast. And yes, it will likely lead to too much water at times. We have northern counties starting off with some rainfall today. So a few folks may want the rain gear early on today. I really don't think it's necessary through the course of the afternoon. We should see dry time in the forecast and high temperatures that jump to near 80 degrees. It will be breezy in the Ozarks with winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour. I have the strongest wind gusts today expected west of Highway 65, but this may cause some travel issues if you're on the roads. High profile vehicles may have issues in winds like this, so look out for that. Also, loose objects that may be out and about could be blown around. If you got any Easter decorations on the porch or in the trees or something like that, you may see things not where you left them if you're heading home this evening. Increasing concern for flooding in the forecast as we head into Friday. I have another round of thunderstorms that looks pretty powerful in the Ozarks. And just 2 weeks ago, we had that major flooding for our southeastern counties. Now, we're talking about another round of rain and storms, but there's going to be this overall pattern that looks very unsettled through the holiday weekend. So not only do I have rain chances in the forecast on Friday, I've got them Saturday and Sunday. And by the time you add up all the water on the way, it's going to lead to more flooding concerns with 3 to 4 inches of rain possible in some spots through the weekend in the Ozarks. I want to remind you that small decisions can have a big impact when it comes to flooding. So if you come across water over a roadway, turn around, find another way around. Do not ever drive through any barricades if they are up, and delay travel if possible until conditions improve. We do have severe potential with this round of rain too. So not only is it the flooding concern and the chance for a few heavy downpours, but it's also the chance for some strong storms. Now, I think the threat this time is going to be rather limited, with wind and hail being the biggest concern on Friday. I also think on Friday, there's going to be some downpours that have very heavy rainfall. The point here is that each and every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the atmosphere, it's conducive for scattered, strong to severe thunderstorms. Monitor the forecast this weekend if you have anywhere to be. I know there's egg hunts. There's all sorts of stuff going on. We want it to be springtime. We want to be outside, but just make sure you have a plan for where you'll go should severe weather arrive in the Ozarks, and make sure that you're having indoor plans as a backup for anything that you've got going on outside. Around the country, we've got some big headlines too. There's still snowfall impacting portions of the Rockies, moving from the northern Rockies down to the southern Rockies. At the same time, there's extremely critical fire danger happening for the southern high plains and much of the Southwest. Severe weather, of course, occurring starting today in the central U.S. It's north of the Ozarks today, primarily up in Iowa. And then we'll see those severe threats sink south on Friday. Well above average temperatures over the central U.S. That's going to happen today and tomorrow. Today, I told you high temps, they make it into the low 80s, 81, my forecast in Springfield. I think we're at 82 tomorrow. And then for the weekend, conditions look cooler, with highs likely dropping to the 50s up in our northern counties, 60s on Saturday here in Springfield. So a lot going on, a lot of changes on the way, and a whole lot of rain in this forecast as well. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And the question this time, again, it's going to be an Easter question. Which U.S. president was known for his love of jelly beans, particularly keeping a jar of them on his desk in the White House? Who do you think did this? Who had the sweet tooth? Do you think it was A, Jimmy Carter, B, Ronald Reagan, C, Bill Clinton, or D, George W. Bush? And if you knew this one, you would have guessed B, Ronald Reagan. President Reagan and his jar of Jelly Bellies. They are infamous and in many photographs. When Ronald Reagan ran for governor in California in 1966, he started eating jelly beans as part of his successful attempt to give up pipe smoking, according to the Reagan National Library. So it was successful. So I guess if you're trying to quit too, reach for a jelly bean anytime you get a hangry. Congrats if B, Ronald Reagan was your guess. Here's another jelly bean question. What is the name of the process that creates the harder outer shell of a jelly bean while preserving the gooey center? You may know this if you've seen how it's made. Do you think it is A, hardening, B, curing, C, crusting, or D, panning? The process that creates the hard outer shell of a jelly bean that preserves the gooey center. Let me know your guess. You can do that at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening this morning, and thanks to our sponsors, John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Have a great one. We'll chat again first thing tomorrow.